suggested. I changed mine. All right, good evening. I'd like to call to order the Concord Township Board of Trustee public hearing. And this is for public hearing for the amendment to section 3104B, construction and maintenance standards for permanent pool and above ground or in-ground pool. Then we've all received a letter from Heather Freeman, and we have the provisions in front of us. So, it just looks like it's some conversation about stronger fences, and then basically the rest is just really grammatical corrections. I know it was recommended for approval by the Zoning Commission and the Lake County Planning Commission. Anybody in the public audience this evening wishing to address the board regarding that matter? Okay. Seeing none, I think we'll just move up since it's only 4 minutes away, and we'll get started with our regular meeting. So I will call to order the regular trustee meeting for the Concord Township Board of Trustees for Wednesday, September 6, 2023. And would you please rise and join me in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. And can I have a roll call, please?
Yes. Mrs. Lucci?
Present.
Mr. Dondorfer?
Present.
Mr. McIntosh?
Present. And next order of business, approval of the minutes from the August 2nd regular trustee meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I will make a motion to approve the August 2nd, 2023 regular trustees meeting minutes.
And I second.
Any discussion? All right, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 3 ayes. Okay, elected officials report. Fiscal Officer, Mr. James Technip.
Thank you, Mr. McIntosh. As of August 31st, we are 67% of the way through the year. The treasury balance for all 21 active funds within the township treasury was $10,357,000. The treasury balance includes $2.6 million in funds set aside for special specific projects. Year to date, expenditures were 67% of the amount appropriated for the year 2023. The revenue received year to date is 94%, including the second half real estate tax settlements. These are about 6% greater than we projected for the settlements. So as you can see, we are within budget. On tonight's agenda, I have a couple housekeeping items there. There are 2 resolutions. I ask that the trustees favorably approve Resolution 2023-19. It's for the 2024 street lighting assessments. And then the second resolution is 2023-22. This is accepting the amounts and rates determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the auditor. This is the final step of the tax budget that we worked on a couple months ago. And if you have any specific financial questions, please do not hesitate to call our office at 354-7516. And that's my report for this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Technip. Trustees, Mrs. Lucci.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Well, it's been a while since our last meeting. It's great to be back. Lots have happened over the last month, and we have a lot more things to look forward to. First, our Community Day was a huge success. The parade, the bands, the food, everyone who donated to the raffle baskets, and of course the fireworks. Thank you to everyone who pulled this off, especially Sean, our rec director, and his staff. The pancake breakfast was great. Thanks to the service department and the fire department and law enforcement for keeping us all safe. Also, congratulations to our Citizen of the Year, Mr. Jim Rowe, and we look forward to the rest of the events this year, which I'm sure Sean will mention in his report. Earlier in August, we had a visit from our Congressman Dave Joyce, who toured our new fire station. He was very interested and impressed with a lot of the safety features for the fire service people, the training facilities, and the overall build. So it was a very good visit. We enjoyed. We thank him for his time for coming out. And we continue to await the completion of our station. We've had some usual bumps and delays, and hopefully we have a ribbon cutting announcement very soon. We certainly had some exciting weather. We had a tornado and then a nearby earthquake the following day. We were made aware of some of the damage by residents from our service department, mostly down trees and some down power lines. We had some residents reach out who had no power. We did contact our First Energy liaison, who helped us understand how those energy issues were being resolved, and we appreciate everyone's patience for that as well. And hopefully the weather doesn't get too much more crazy before winter. School is back in session. Reminder to be mindful of the children waiting at the bus stops and to slow down. And we were just talking about the Riverside Mentor game last week, which was phenomenal. So Riverside beat Mentor, which is two of our high schools. But in the last time Riverside beat Mentor was 1961.
Wow.
Believe it or not. So
Wow.
kind of a huge deal. It was a packed house. We are finally seeing some action on the development of the new ice cream shop and car wash. I get so many questions on when is the ice cream store coming, so hopefully next year we can make that happen. The new Sheetz gas station is also moving along well, and we appreciate these new businesses that are opening up in our township. We did have a staff meeting last week, met with all the department heads to discuss updates, current and future happenings within the township. I got a lot of feedback from residents who continue to enjoy the pickleball courts, always asking when we're going to have more, and also good feedback on the summer concert events, which were great. We have a couple more coming up. Last, I wish to extend our condolences to you, Chairman McIntosh, for the loss of your wonderful mother. We've been praying for you and your family. Thank you, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mrs. Lucci. Mr. Dondorfer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, I would also like to extend thank you to everyone involved in the community days. It was a great event, despite some bad weather at the onset. We made it through, and it was a great event. Sean did a great job and his staff, and it was great. It was a great evening. So thank you. Hope everybody enjoyed their Labor Day. The long weekend. It has been a while since we've met. We did get some updates on the fire station recently. We're hoping to be able to commission that building in the very near future. It looks great over there. Despite some setbacks and some challenges, we're excited about it. Since we last met, I did get some questions or some calls from some residents. One regarding the safety services levy. I know we're going to have some future discussion on that at future stakeholder meetings. I did have a call regarding a traffic concern in the Mountain Park area, and we're working with that resident on resolving some concerns that they have in that area. Again, with the bad weather that came in, it was, I haven't seen weather like that in Lake County that I could remember, especially with that many tornadoes. Confirmed touchdown in the area. There were a lot of people that reached out to all of us, either from phone calls or emails, that had some concerns about when their power was going to be restored and how it was going to be resolved and rolled out. And I explained to some of the residents that I talked to that it was a pretty catastrophic event, and there was a lot of damage throughout not only Concord Township but throughout Lake County, that I saw just as in my job as a first responder. I mean, the west end of the county was pretty substantially hit in Willoughby Hills and Wade Hill and Willoughby, and it was labor intensive. So I explained, there was a lot of people that had to wait and be patient, and we worked with our liaison at First Energy to see, keep our residents informed on, updated on when the services were going to be back or expected to be back. And I'm sure we're going to have some discussions, some roundtable after, to see how things could be improved. But I thought overall that First Energy did a good job. There was a lot of energy companies from Penn, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and a lot of other states that I saw staged in different areas throughout the county to respond to get power restored. So I thought for the most part everybody did a good job with that. Yeah, thank you to our service department. As far as going out in those areas in Concord Township that were really impacted from the storms, Morley Hills, Weathersfield, we went out, the trustees drove around and looked at those areas that were impacted and worked with Service Director Tim Brown in getting some help to those residents and getting their brush collected and things of that nature to sort of help them out with the burden that they had after cleanup of the storm. So thank you to the Service Department. And with that, yeah, I also would like to extend my condolences to Mr. McIntosh on lost your mother, and praying for you. It's a tough thing. But,
Thank you.
Thank you, and that's all I have.
Well, it has been, it's weird, it feels strange to be back. It's been a month. But it sounds like I've been pretty busy, and it sounds like we all have been. Community Day was great. It was, the parade was fun to have that back. I know we had a lot of people turn out. I mean, they kind of saw the staging didn't seem, but you turned the corner and everyone was there. It was great. And I think we got a lot of positive feedback about having it. So I think that was really nice, and saw a lot of the new things. And unfortunately, we got that little blip of rain that I think slowed people from showing up. And I just wanted to take, well, first I want to say thank you again, huge thank you to the Recreation Department. And, you know, we showed up here early and it was raining and we were kind of pushing things off. And the one thing that, as I think about that day, I reflect 100% all of the time, no matter what is going on at these events, the recreation staff is running around, and not only running around making sure, they're running around with smiles on their faces. They are having a great time. They put all their energy into it, and I'm so proud of that department and staff. There's so much, and they give so much to the community to make these events great. So we have a lot of great, you know, not to say that, you know, all our departments are fantastic, but they put so much energy. Here it is raining, and they're like, it's going to be great. We're happy. And we're so excited. I'm like, man, there's nothing that weathers them down.
Right.
So it was awesome. And, you know, because it was raining, we didn't really have a big turnout for the presentation of the Citizen of the Year. And I'd just like to take a minute and really say, you know, Mr. Jim Rowe, over 50-year resident of Concord Township, served 44 years on the zoning commission and received this honor at the age of 89 years old. You know, his family was here. You know, to sit on the zoning boards and do that work for that long, it's kind of thankless. It goes unnoticed, but there's a lot of things to it. And the smile on his face, the picture of all of us giving him that award, and admiration of his family, really was nice to see that. But I mean, I think it was so deserving in the sense when someone puts that much into the community. So kind of wanted to say that on the record, since people didn't get a chance to see that presentation and hear what we had to say about Jim. Did get a couple calls from residents, lots of calls and emails about the storm cleanup and the electricity. I know there's a lot of questions with respect to First Energy and how their response was, and that's something that will, you know, kind of go through the process here of discussing it. Did get a call regarding a BZA hearing, just kind of your regular stuff. I know we talked a little bit about the local government fund. That's the thing that the prosecutor Colson has said that's invalid, and there's going to have to be some work. So myself, Mr. Tim Brown, the administrator of Madison Township, and Chuck Hilliard from Painesville Township are now part of the ad hoc committee that is going to start working on that. So just wanted to let everyone know that I'm pretty engaged in that. We'll be working and obviously thinking of Concord Township, but also all the townships in that. Very early in the process, definitely still sorting out what this is going to look like, but we're engaged in that project. Along with Mrs. Lucci, got to tour the fire station with Congressman Joyce, and it was really nice to see his energy and enthusiasm. And I know that visit was in part because Mr. Rose is eyeing some federal legislation that might be something that could help us with future projects or whatever, and had the forethought to invite the congressman to come out and see what, when it opens, will be the most safety conscious, high tech, you know, state of the art fire station in all of Lake County. That's something the Concord Township residents should be proud of, and he's very receptive to that. It was a very, very good use of our time with him, and we do thank him for taking the time to come see us. Did have a few questions about the safety levy, and I think we will be scheduling a stakeholder meeting soon. And, you know, the fire station project, we're hoping to see that wrap up this month, maybe. We'll see. I did have some time. I did also spend some time working on zoning and a little bit of economic development. Met with some commercial developers talking about some of the land in the township they're trying to sell. Also talked with one of the residential developers about some property they're looking to do a couple different projects with, both commercial and residential. So that's all still going on. I've received a few questions about Quail Hollow and some rumors floating around about what's going on with the hotel and the golf course. And as of now, we don't know of anything formally happening. So we're hearing chatter. It's just that, it's chatter. And just to close up on a zoning topic, I did have the opportunity to be in the zoning office Friday last and was going through some things, and Mrs. Freeman and I popped out the first official zoning map of Concord Township that was signed in September of 1965. And pursuant to that, I ended up having a discussion about the ice cream car wash opening on social media, and there were a couple of the begrudging comments about Lake County turning into Mentor and whatnot. 1965 set in place most of the zoning for Concord Township, so all your residential zoning and all of those plots, that was decided back then. Back then, that little area of land was all designated basically to be business. One of our zoning districts is now called Business Interchange or BX District, but the interchange was a classification of zoning there. I will say over that period of time, the township has pivoted it away from manufacturing to be a little bit more oriented to retail and service, which seems to be more in line of what Concord Township wants. And when you think about what manufacturing could be, you could look at certain sections of Tyler Boulevard and Mentor. And I would argue that over the last 40 years, we've made a constructive improvement to our zoning for a more serviceable and a better aesthetics for our community. So just want residents to understand that the development of that district in commercial and business terms is not something that has been decided now. The die was cast for that 45 years ago. So, and with that, that concludes my report for this evening. And we'll move into department reports. Administrator Andy Rose.
Thank you, Mr. McIntosh, members of the board, Mr. Technip, members of the audience, good evening. Welcome back, everyone. Just one quick item on the agenda I'd like to cover, which is item C. This is a resolution that establishes regulations related to EV charging stations within a township. We know they're coming, but I just want to point out this resolution is a product of some really good work and coordination between the zoning and the fire department, and working together as a great team and coming up with these regulations to manage EV charging stations to make sure that they're in an appropriate place and that they're safe. So I would encourage passage on item C, which is that resolution. This fall, the Concord Township, we're going to be doing some restoration work on 6 of our oldest cemetery monuments. The monuments are going to be disassembled because we have to repair the foundations, and there's also going to be some repair work done to the headstones. There are 6 of them. 5 of them date back to the mid-1800s, I think 1850s to be exact. And they were the 6 that were determined to be in the worst shape. But we wanted to let folks know, because as a lot of people visit our cemeteries, we're not tearing down monuments, we're actually repairing monuments to prolong their life and maintain the beauty of our cemetery and to show respect for those that are interred there. If you have any questions, contact the cemetery section, Karen Warner. Her direct line is 440-354-7518. Service director and I took a little field trip today. We reviewed the roof at Old Stone School earlier today. We believe it's time for a replacement. It's very tired. So Mr. Brown's going to be obtaining some new quotes. We do have the funds available to replace the roof in our repair and maintenance account. So that'll be fine. And then finally, one other item, the water line project continues to move along. The 70% plans were recently submitted by the design team to both Painesville Water and the Lake County engineer for their initial reviews. And then once this review is complete, they send their feedback back to our design engineers. They'll finalize the plans, and then they'll go back to Painesville Water and Lake County engineers respectively for another look, just to make sure all the coordination's done. And we expect this project will be ready to go out for bid in the late fall, probably mid to late November. And that concludes my report. Happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rose. If that goes to bid in the fall, what are we looking at? Is that kind of a wait and see what sort of winter we have? Is it a springtime thing?
According to to Painesville Water, doing it over the winter when the ground is frozen is a great time to dig and install that stuff. There's a lot less mud. So it's good winter work for the excavating companies.
Okay,
So I would expect that that'll get done over the winter.
okay. Okay, Fire Department, Chief Sabo.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Good evening.
So for the month of August, we had a total of 310 runs, including 200 EMS events with 154 transports. We had 110 non-EMS events, including 3 fires, 1 dumpster fire inside Concord, and outside of Concord, we assisted with 1 residential fire and 1 commercial fire. We gave mutual aid 16 times and received mutual aid 13 times, and we had 100 overlapping calls for about 32%. So it was a busy month. Fire Prevention Bureau completed 74 inspections, accounting for about 112 hours, 10 plan reviews accounting for about 27 hours. On August 30th, we were happy to be invited to the Senior Appreciation event at the Concord Community Center, and we provided information on fire safety. We provided blood pressure checks. We talked about with our residents about 911 alerting systems and residential lock boxes to approximately 135 guests. So it was a good event and a nice outreach, and again, kudos to the Recreation Department and Sean and his team for hitting another one out of the park there. So it was they just keep coming. We did install 2 residential lockbox. We had none returned. Just as a reminder, our aluminum can collection is continuing, but the bin has been relocated since Community Day. We had to relocate it anyway. So we thought, what better time than now to relocate it to the new fire station. So it's in its permanent home at the new fire station parking lot at the south end of the building, actually east end of the building. So we continue to thank you for your ongoing support, and recycling proceeds continue to support our fire prevention and education program. So that goes a long way. In terms of the agenda items, item D on the agenda is a resolution authorizing the distribution of grant funding from the Ohio Ambulance Transportation Program. This is pass-through funding that we've been talking about for quite a while. We applied along with many other fire departments, is pass-through funding from the government to give back to the frontline workers that worked through COVID. So this resolution is a requirement of that process in order for us to distribute the funds to the firefighters that were involved in that are on our rolls today. So we appreciate your support for that. Just as a reminder, September is National Preparedness Month, which serves as a reminder that disasters and emergencies can strike at any moment, like we just saw recently with the storms that everyone was talking about. This year's theme is Take Control in 1, 2, 3. Step 1, assess your needs. Step 2, make a plan. And step 3, engage your support network. I urge you to visit FEMA's website at ready.gov for resources to assist you in formulating a preparedness plan. I took the opportunity as I was heading home a couple days after that storm, and the utility companies were all staged on Cryle Road and Grist Mill Plaza and Cryle Crossings and Drug Mart Plaza. And I had to go to Drug Mart anyway, but I stopped in and took a moment to just thank the utility workers. The crew I was talking to was from Cincinnati. There were, like Trustee Don Dorfer was saying, there was a crew from Jersey that actually helped our administrative assistant. Part of the tornado went through her property and caused some extensive damage there. So she got to chat up with the Jersey boys, as she called them. And so, when you see these utility companies, these fellas and gals are out away from their families for an extended period of time as they get deployed across the country to help restore power. And it's not an easy process. And they're working in extreme conditions as well, and that is their job, and that's what they signed up for, just like us. But you know, it just says a lot when people drop what they need to go help somebody else, you know, whether it's their job or not. So we appreciate them. So thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Service Department, Mr. Tim Brown.
Good evening, everyone. In the month of August, the Service Department responded to 2 downed trees blocking the roadways during the most recent storms. Our crack sealing crew completed the crack sealing of many township roadways. Our concrete crew continues to perform slab replacements to the township's concrete roadways. As of today, the crew has poured approximately 420 yards of concrete this season. Our asphalt crew continues with the Durapatch repairs to our asphalt roadways. Additionally, the department has been working closely with the Lake County Stormwater Department on some upcoming stormwater projects to reduce erosion and enhance flow of stormwater through the township. The Service Department reopened the yard waste drop-off at the Service Department on September 5th. The drop-off is open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Residents may drop off yard waste in paper biodegradable bags in the designated material bin. The annual fall brush collection is scheduled for Saturdays, October 14th and October 21st from 7:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Residents may drop off brush 4 inches in diameter and smaller. No stumps, landscape timbers, railroad ties, or lumber is permitted. Yard waste will also be accepted on these dates as well. As the winter season approaches, we remind residents about the mailbox snow barricade available through the Service Department. Residents that wish to purchase a snow barricade can find the application located on the township website under Forms and Applications or at the Town Hall. The cost is $50 and it includes installation by the Service Department. There is a $15 reinstall and removal fee for those who wish to have the barricade reinstalled or removed. The Service Department's new storage building construction is moving along. ACM poured the footers the week of 8/21, and the structural steel was delivered on 9/5, and ACM started erecting the steel. ACM plans to have the framework installed by the end of this week. We are anxious to get our equipment into the building to protect it from the elements and prolong its life. The Service Department encourages residents with questions and concerns to contact us at 440-350-3225 or by email at concordtwp.com under Service Department. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Thanks. Zoning Department, Mrs. Heather Freeman.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So during the month of July, the zoning department staff processed 43 zoning permit applications and collected approximately $7,500 in fees. Additionally, we were busy out in the community performing inspections and completed 96 property inspections and issued 27 zoning certificate of compliances. We also received and followed up on 20 new complaints about potential zoning violations. Next week, the Board of Zoning Appeals will have a meeting on Wednesday. There's 5 variance applications. The detailed agenda may be viewed on the township's website under the Public Meetings tab. I encourage all residents, if you have any questions, to please reach out to the zoning department either by phone, 440-354-7506, or all of our contact information is on the website as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. Recreation, Mr. Son Supler.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'd like to start out by thanking all of you for kind words about Community Day and our staff and the event that we put on. We put a lot of hard work into it, and overall we think it went very well. So I want to start out by thanking you, the elected officials, for coming out to the event, supporting everything that the Recreation Department has been doing, especially for all the changes and stuff that we put into Community Day. We also thank you for doing our Concord raffle winner announcements, and being in attendance and just celebrating the township and all the hard work that went into that event. I'd also like to thank all of our sponsors who contributed to making it a successful event. We can't thank them enough. If you received your new grapevine, you'll see a wonderful full-page ad thanking all of them for their generosity. They're also listed on all of our social media accounts as well. Also, thank you to them, and really try and support those businesses that supported us. It's kind of why they do that, to try and get their name out there. So let's try and support them as well. I'd also thank our Concord Fire Department and our Sheriff's Office for all the work they did for keeping the community safe, especially during the fireworks. I know that's always a tense time, especially for our fire department and Chief Sabo, but they did a great job in making sure everyone stayed safe during that. And also to both departments for their participation in the Concord Parade, as well as everyone else that participated in the parade as well. And also to Tim Brown and the service department for all their hard work. I know they were there early in the morning and stayed all the way till cleanup. They really kind of made it so it didn't look like an event was there at all that day. So thank you to them for all their efforts as well. And lastly, to the Recreation Department staff, specifically Susie, Rachel, and Tracy, for their countless hours and work that went into making that event run smoothly. As well to all of our volunteers, facility attendants who worked morning, noon, and night, performing all sorts of jobs and responsibilities we asked of them, even during the monsoon, as we talked about. We obviously can't control the weather, but we can control most things, and even with the rain, I think we did a really great job of making that a successful event. And as everyone pointed out, congratulations to Jim Rowe, our Citizen of the Year, who was very appreciative of that. And good to see his one son, I know, came in from Chicago for that as well, so it was nice to see that. The other event I would like to acknowledge, the one that Chief Sabo acknowledged, was our Senior Citizen Appreciation event that was held last Wednesday. We had lots of seniors attend that. We had over 15 vendors that were there, ranging from healthcare to senior living facilities, all that kind of stuff. They were there passing out goodies for all the seniors to have, pamphlets on important information regarding senior services, and university hospitals who handed out tote bags full of fresh vegetables and fruit, and the package to make homemade salsa. It was really They partnered with a local farm, and they gave each and every senior one of those bags. So thank you to University Hospitals for their continued support of all of our programs. And to the fire department for coming out, and all the guys who were on shift were there helping out, doing blood pressure checks. And I don't know if Chief Sabo saw it, but many of them were helping the seniors carry their very heavy bags of groceries out to their cars for them as well. So thank you to them as well. Now for our upcoming programs and events, our 55 plus group. Today we had a Medicare enrollment presentation by Allie Hines from the Lake County Council on Aging. September 13th is fall prevention presented by Chardon Healthcare. September 20th is Famous People from Ohio Part 2 presented by the popular Susan Canavino. And September 27th is Oktoberfest Bingo. Some other upcoming events and programs are always happening. Mind and Body Martial Arts is going on every Tuesday and Thursday at the community center. All new students get the first month free, so contact the recreation department. Some of our youth classes, we have our rookie sports soccer starting up next Tuesday. That's for ages 3 to 6. That runs September 12th to October 10th. The times are either 5:30 to 6:15 or 6:30 to 7:15, and this can take place right here at Town Hall campus. We have 27 kids signed up for that program right now, so that's a great number again. We also have kids dance classes for ages 2 to 8 being held at the community center on Thursday evenings, and those start tomorrow. Just to highlight a couple adult programs that we have coming up here. Gentle yoga on Tuesdays and Thursdays, taught by Melissa Hopper. We have Yoga Pilates Fusion on Wednesday evenings. That's taught by Colleen Stone. We have Gentle Yoga evening classes on Monday nights. We have a prenatal yoga class taught by Jenna Hall for all of our expecting mothers to be out there. Intro to Pickleball is almost filled up. We have, I think, 18 people signed up for that. That starts this coming Saturday. And we have a lot of make and take classes with Joanna Orgavon. We have stained glass classes with Vicki Vessel. And we have one of our more popular events as of recently is Let's Cook with LaDonna Altman. She is going to be doing ratatouille on the 21st of September. she did a presentation on how to do how to operate air fryers, and I think we had over 20 people for that. So that was a great class. And now on to our special events upcoming. Thursday, September 14th from 6 to 8 here at the Gazebo is our fall concert, as we're dubbing it, with 4 Kings and a Queen. That's one of our rainouts from the summer. And please note the shift in time. We're doing it an hour earlier than our usual concert time. So that's from 6 to 8 next Thursday. Or on Saturday, February 16th is our picnic and a movie at the Gazebo, featuring Super Mario Brothers on a giant inflatable screen. We're hoping to get people to bring dinner, blankets, chairs, all that kind of stuff, and come watch a movie with us here. We're involving our fire department and our sheriff's office as well. I know the fire department is going to be making and passing out popcorn, and the recreation department is going to have some other goodies as well. So we hope everyone comes out to that movie and enjoys a close down to summer. Saturday, October 21st will be our Halloween Spooktacular. That's our community event, Halloween event. We're also going to be doing our last rescheduled summer concert series with In Cahoots. That event itself will start at 11:30 with the music beginning at 12 and running till 2 o'clock. We're going to have a food truck there during that event because it's during the lunch hour, so hopefully everyone comes out and enjoys that. We're going to have costume contest and candy and all sorts of games going on that day. And then lastly, as I mentioned at our previous meeting, we have our first adaptive program. That's for our persons with disability. And that is Friday, October 27th. We're having a Halloween dance at the community center with DJ, dancing, costume contest, food, and more. Then we have our Old Stone Schoolhouse is having an open house and township history artifact drop-off on Friday, September 15th from 7 to 8:30. Dan Maxon will be giving tours of the schoolhouse, and he's looking for any 1900 photos, documents, farm or business items, or family mementos to be displayed at the schoolhouse. So if you or your family have any old items relating to the township, this is a great opportunity for you to bring them in and see the history behind them. As everyone knows and acknowledges here, Dan is a wealth of knowledge about township history. So if you have any questions about that or want to, look up anything, just let Dan know and he'd be more than happy to help you out. Lastly, our fall-winter grapevine was mailed out recently, so hopefully everyone received that. If you did not receive a copy, please contact the Recreation Department. We can get a copy of that to you. We also have copies here at Town Hall and at the Community Center. We hope that everyone enjoyed it. We've really put a lot of time and effort into that publication, the last 2 at least, in terms of kind of updating it, adding some new designs, adding some new program offerings, and adding details about our programs, especially within the Recreation Department. So if you have any questions about any of the programs stated above or anything in the grapevine, just let us know, and we'd be more than happy to assist you with that. And please continue to sign up for the e-grapevine. You can do that by visiting the website, concordtwp.com, or call the Recreation Department, and we can help you out with that. And that concludes my report for tonight, so thank you.
Thank you. And Concord Law Enforcement, Sheriff and Sergeant and following.
Good evening. For the month of August 2023, the Sheriff's Office responded to 1,132 calls for service. 4 of them were injury accidents, 7 property damage accidents. An adult female was arrested for assault at the Concord Stone Schoolhouse. A juvenile female was arrested for domestic violence. An adult male was arrested for OVI. An adult female arrested for OVI. An adult male arrested for felony domestic violence and assault. And a juvenile female arrested for domestic violence. We also arrested 2 females for warrants that resulted from traffic stops. Alarms were 50, citations for traffic violations 14, 128 warnings for traffic violations, 3 driving under suspension citations. 16 disturbances, 56 suspicious circumstances, vehicles and persons, 35 traffic complaints, and 18 welfare checks were conducted. We assisted with the community days and went extremely well. We had no issues, just one little argument, but we rectified that during the fireworks, and everything went on as planned. We also helped out a few cars that were stuck across the street and saved them some money with the tow. So the deputies were able to successfully get them out. Our SSOs and SROs are in full swing, which are the school safety officers and school resource officers from the sheriff's office. Every school in the Riverside District is now covered, which includes Parkside and Concord and Melridge and Concord. The year has been going very well. In relation to school, we have seen, or I have seen, quite a few bus stop violations. This is a reminder, when the buses are slowing down with the yellow lights on, please be prepared to stop. Take your time. When the red lights come on, you have to stop. Reminder also, the buses do have cameras on them. We get sent all of the violations, and we do cite all of the violations. So be aware of that. Just because we might not be around and you try to pass a school bus, we're going to contact you and you're going to receive a ticket. So please stop for the school buses. It's unacceptable. We just put on 3 deputies, Kayla Vanderwert, Brooke Daughters, and Chase Alursich. Chase is actually was an Explorers with the Sheriff's Office Explorers program. He's a Riverside graduate, and now he's a full-fledged deputy on the road patrol. Speaking of the Explorers program, we received 2 grants, one for $12,000 and another for $6,000. So we are sitting pretty good for that, and continuing trying to recruit new future deputies just like Chase. Some other Explorers have gone into corrections and dispatch actually too. But in the future there'll be deputies when they're old enough. Deputy Palo is now on solo patrol. He was our last deputy to be on field training, and now obviously he passed his training and he's on solo patrol, so he is out there. The speed trailers have been out. I've had them on Prouty Road, Girdle Road, Cascade, Morley, 84, and I will be putting it in the future on Mountain Park here coming up soon in the area of Allegheny and Hoos. The dive team has been going through a week of training this week, and they are working hard to refine their skills. And they've been in Westlake with that training evolution. We just posted it on our Facebook page if you want to see some of the pictures of that training. We have 2 new bike patrol operators, Deputy Gaylog and Deputy Takovic. They just went with an intense week-long training for that, and they have a lot of bruises from it, but we're excited to have our bike unit expanding. And I believe that concludes my report, unless you guys have anything.
Thanks, Sergeant.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sergeant. All right, moving on to the audience portion. Anybody in the audience? Seeing none. Moving into old business, hearing none, or seeing that there is none, we will move into our votes for the evening.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the July financial report.
And I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, I will make a motion to approve Resolution 2023-19, the street light assessment.
And I'll second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
3 ayes.
I move to approve Resolution 2023-20, adopting electric vehicle charging station requirements and regulations.
I will second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye. Mr. Chairman, I will make a motion to approve Resolution 2023-21, adopting a policy for distribution of grant funding from the Ohio Ambulance Transportation Program.
And I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 3 ayes.
I move to approve Resolution 2023-22, amounts and rates.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 3 ayes.
Mr. Chairman, I will make a motion to approve zoning text amendment to section 31.04B, construction and maintenance standards for permanent pool above ground or in ground.
And I'll second.
Any discussion?
No.
All right, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
3 ayes.
I move to approve fire department purchase order to Countryside Truck Service in the amount of $10,000 for vehicle service.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
3 ayes.
I'll make a motion to approve promotion of Nicholas Light to the position of firefighter 1 effective 8/28/23.
And I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
3 ayes.
I move to approve promotion of Ryan Nappy to the position of part-time firefighter paramedic effective 8/9/23.
And I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I will make a motion to approve promotion of Hunter Garasek to the position of part-time probationary firefighter paramedic effective 8/9/23.
And I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, and item K, items voted on in the staff meeting at the August 28th staff meeting. Mrs. Lucci moved to approve PO to RMC Resource Management Consultants in the amount of $8,997.00 for fire officer promotional testing. Mr. Dondorfer seconded and 2 ayes approved that. Future meetings and announcement.
On September 9th, from 10 to 12 p.m., that we will hold a shred day on the campus of Town Hall. On September 13th, at 7 p.m., a BZA meeting will be held at Town Hall. On September 15th, a JED meeting will be held at Town Hall at 8 o'clock in the morning at 8 a.m. And on September 20th, at 6:30 to 7:30 p.m., we will hold trustee office hours in the conference room at Town Hall. And that same evening at 7:30 p.m., the trustee meeting will be held at Town Hall.
All right, and with that, we will adjourn our meeting.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.